More than 20 albums and 5 decades into his career, Steve has become a modern day multi genre icon, earning 14 number one hits, over 30 top 10 singles, 3 RIAA certified gold albums, the Minnie Pearl Humanitarian Award, 4 Grammy Awards, 4 CMA Awards, 3 AMC Awards, and 2 TNN Music City News Awards, a Christian Country Music Association Award, a CMA Triple Play Award, 15 BMI Millionaire Awards, Country Radio Broadcasters 2018 CRB Artist Career Achievement Award, and most recently, Steve embarked on a 2021 tour throughout Texas and the Southeast. Ladies and gentlemen, and we're also going to be talking about your Christmas album. Steve, are you there?
Hi,
Hello. Is that true? I mean, it keeps going on and on. Hello, and how are you?
That's exhausting. Thank you for going through all that stuff. That's like crazy. That means I'm really old, Donna, is all that means.
No, it means that you're really talented and that other people realize that you're talented and they wanted to celebrate you. But congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, that's great. I've been doing this a long time. I came here in Nashville when I was 17. I moved here. I played for the great Dottie West for 3 years. That was my schooling. I went to the Dottie West School of Music, 3 years touring the world and played on some of her records. And that led to working with the great Bob Luman for a year and a half. And then Chet Atkins, one of my heroes, guitarist, producer, RCA head for many years, Chet Atkins, and was my mentor. And so, yeah, I've been doing it quite a while and lucky to still get away with it, so a little bit. So.
Well, does there ever come a time when you feel like it's home? For me, like I live in New York now, but I feel like I have 2 homes. Like St. Louis is still my home, right? So do you feel though that, Nashville is your home now?
It has been for a long time. I mean, I go back home, my small town in Indiana, where I'm from. It's called Noblesville. It's just north side of Indianapolis now, but when I was there, it was a small farm town. But yeah, this has been home for a long, long time. And I go back, and like they say, I believe it's true. You really can't go back because I want it to be like it was in my memory, and it just won't ever be. You know how that goes. So,
well, did they at least in your high school? Did they at least put up a plaque or something for you? Or
I don't know if it's still there, but there's a sign going into our town, hometown of country music star Steve Wariner, and that makes you proud. I don't know that it's still there, but it was there for years. I'm not sure now. I don't go up there quite so much, but
well, for me, because we all start somewhere, and
Yep.
I love mentoring a lot of people that are, up and coming in their careers and things. And I tell them, I'm like, sometimes it might seem like somebody's an overnight success. But what they don't see are the hours of preparation, or like you said, being on the road, or the things that maybe don't go so well, or the songs that you wanted to do, but you left in a bottom drawer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, no doubt.
Or the heartbreak, or the somebody done somebody wrong song. There's
no question about that. Yeah, they don't see all the hours of practicing and for real, they don't. People ask me about the road and traveling and touring. All they know you for is the 2 hours you're on stage or whatever, but they don't realize the hours getting from A to B is the part that is not so much fun,
right.
Especially the last couple of years for sure. But like our last tour out, we wound up the tour in Kingsville, Texas. Now, if you look on a map, that's about an hour and a half below Corpus Christi. It's about an 18-hour bus ride home. The old days, I would have jumped on a plane and flown home. Have a good trip, guys. But these days, I rode the bus. I'm like, but that's the stuff that's part of it.
And it's part of what memories are made of too, right?
Absolutely.
The things where somebody got the wrong taco order and somebody else is allergic to chicken, so you swapping out food, and those moments.
Or the bus. 2 trips out, how do I say this correctly? The bus driver got a little bit close to, one of our drivers got a little close to a pole. And I mean, no one knows about the best rags, the flat tires, all that good stuff that goes with it,
What are we going to do about this dent? Well, we'll write a song
Yeah.
about it, right? We'll just make a song about it. In your journey, at what point for you did things change up enough so that you felt confident that you were going to be able to have a career in this field?
Well, I remember, Donna, I remember going to, in 1981, I recorded a song written by Kai Fleming and Dennis Morgan. This song was called All Roads Lead to You. And that song in 1981 went number one. It was my first number one record. And I remember they had a big party. My label had this big party, and all my friends, all my associates were there. And I remember going home that night by myself, and I remember sitting in my apartment, and I was thinking, well, that's great, and all the elation. And then I realized, uh-oh, I got to follow it up now. Now I got to keep doing this. I got to follow it up with something else. And then if I'm lucky to have another hit record, I got to follow that with. So I'm like, oh no, I'm on this roller coaster now, So there's always you never are satisfied. You're always, you're always chasing and finding that next thing, I know you know exactly what I mean. You never get satisfied. I think it's always something else around the bend, and
Well, and in a way that's good because I feel like if I ever stop doing what I'm doing, I feel like I'm just going to like dry up and blow away. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people like us or other people are given a talent and it's our responsibility to use it.
Yeah, I
You
agree with
know?
you. There's a responsibility that comes in. I love those artists that use their celebrity in the perfect way. I always want
Yes.
to grow up to be like them. And, I got some friends I could mention, I could drop names, but I go, that is so cool. They're using their celebrity in such a beautiful way and to give back. And now I'm thinking about all these people in Mayfield, Kentucky,
Oh,
that's up the road from us. I got a good friend that he's gone now, but that's his hometown. And, his home place is there. And I asked his wife last night and they escaped that. But, giving back like that. I love, not to get off track, but the artists that give back. That's what you need to do with your celebrity or what little you may have. And I speak of myself.
yeah, but I always say you can share your time, your talent, or your treasure, right? Some people
That's
want to just
beautiful. Love
right
that.
share your time or share your talent or share your treasure. As long as you're sharing something, it's all good. So now you're up to something good, talking about something good. What's happening right now with you?
Well, it's been a crazy couple of years. Like everyone else, the last few years has been so crazy with the not touring and not playing shows, playing to empty buildings and that sort of thing. I've really started touring in August, middle of August. We started back touring. In 2020, I did 4 shows, all at the Grand Ole Opry House, and there were 2 of those were totally empty seats, 4,400 empty seats. Is the weirdest thing I've ever done, and
You
the
just gave me
last 2 shows,
chills. Wow.
yeah, for all the
Yeah.
last 2 shows were. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. The last 2 shows were like half house. They started letting people in, but my very first show, I played a show in Oklahoma with a real audience in 2 years, and I walked out and I said, "Man, let me just stare at you guys for a moment. This is so incredible." And the audience kind of looked at me like it was a great crowd. It was sold out in Durant, Oklahoma, and I told the audience, they were looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just want to take this in because you guys look beautiful to me. I've not played in front of real live people in 2 years, and it feels so great." And they just tore the house down, and it was great. But I tell you what I did this after the holidays last Christmas. I started in making a new Christmas record, and I've only done 2 Christmas projects in my whole career, and one of them was a totally all guitar kind of a Christmas album, and the other was more of a traditional back in I think 1990. I think it was. I was born on Christmas Day too, so I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
You got to love Christmas if you're a Christmas baby, right? I
Steve,
mean,
are you kidding? All right,
I
I'm just
really am.
singing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday to you. Bum, 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 bum,
I
bum.
love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh
Great
my
present,
gosh.
mom. What about my poor mom? Oh my God.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But
I love that.
I started in making a Christmas album after the holidays, I just left up all my plastic Santas and Christmas tree and stuff in my studio. I'm in my studio here. The good thing, it's right across my driveway. The bad thing, it's right across my driveway. So it's a great working environment. I've lived where I am now for 30 plus years, and it's my workplace. It's my He-Man Woman Haters Club. I come out here like the little rascals, but it's fun. And I started making this Christmas album. My son Ross came home. He lives in New York City. He came home. He's here now, actually, but he came home for a month and helped me. He's in the music business. He's a composer, arranger, producer. And so he came in and helped me, engineer and help me with this record. And we just, labor of love. For about 4 months, I made this record. And it was strange. It was the weirdest record I've ever made because I couldn't really bring people out here. I couldn't have players come here. And I really am one of those guys that I want people. I mean, I know a lot of people do the stems and they send
Send the
music
tracks
back.
in, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's common, but I don't like to do that so much. I want real people in front of me playing off of each other, doing a performance, and with Christmas music, I think that's vital. But we made it work, and I played a lot of the instruments myself, a lot more than I normally would have.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you start out, usually people start out with one instrument. So what was your first instrument?
Well, bass was my first. I played in a band with my dad. My dad was a really talented musician. He had a real job, but he played music, and as a little kid, I would play out with my dad. But my dad could play fiddle. He's an old time Kentucky fiddler. My dad was from Kentucky, and he could play all that old bluegrassy stuff. But he played guitar. He's a front guy. He sang like a bird. He was a great singer and songwriter.
Wow.
And that's where I got a lot of that stuff. Donna, he was one of 12 kids from rural Kentucky, dirt poor farmers. I learned a lot of those values from my dad. He was also in the Navy, and that's a whole nother story, but just learned a lot about music from him. He was a great patient man, a great teacher. And so I was playing out with my dad when I was a little kid, making my own money, buying my own bicycles and all that stuff. So, hey, I had a job way back when, so.
It's such a delight, and before we wrap up, I think it's ironic that I was just in Nashville this past weekend visiting my daughter, who's an artist. So my daughter, Elise, who's an artist and a sculptor, lives down in Nashville, and you come up to New York to visit your son. I just think that's hilarious. We're probably going to do it like this.
I paint too. I'm an artist. I do as much art as I do music.
You do? Are you showing any of your work in any of the galleries in Nashville?
Not right now, but I had a show a few years ago at the Tennessee State Museum. I had 26 pieces in there. And
beautiful.
I do all mediums. I do some encaustic stuff, and I do watercolors. I do acrylic, abstract stuff. I do all kinds of stuff. But that's so interesting.
Would you come back on sometime, because I would love to see your artwork.
Love to. I'd be glad to do that.
Yeah. So my little one's name is Elise, Elise, and she has a whole company down in Nashville just thriving, doing art and sculpture and installations and it's so fun. It's great when you can also share your passion for your creativity with your kids, so that's wonderful. But looking forward to this. This was so nice. I mean, we talked about all the things that we were supposed to talk about and a little bit more, but it was just a pleasure.
Same to you. And next time we'll talk about the songwriting stuff, because that's really a passion too, writing. I've been lucky to write songs for Kenny Rogers and Garth and Keith Urban, a lot of Brad Paisley, a lot of people, Don Williams. And so the writing part's important too, what I do. So maybe next time we can get into all those avenues.
That's extremely important. My friend from high school lives down in Nashville, and he's a songwriter, and he lives in Franklin. And I Facebooked him the other day, and I said, hey, I'm in Franklin, and they're doing the Dickens Festival. And Paul has had some really great success also with writing songs. And,
nice.
That's the other thing I was going to tell you, is that you're a storyteller. You are the person that, whether it's through your art or whether it's through your songwriting, right? You just want to share the journey. I know all your famous songs. I mean, I know what they are. There's a lot of them that are on this card. But for you personally, is there a song that touches your heart? There's something that just is
I
your soul.
I'll say this.
Okay.
the biggest song that I've ever wrote was Garth Brooks did a song called Long Neck Bottle that I wrote with Rick Carnes, and that was the most. I've never had anything that got in that kind of stratosphere. That was in Garth's earlier days, and it was like unbelievable, the stratosphere that threw us all into. But I think for me, my songs, my records, I did a song that won Song of the Year and Single of the Year in '98. And it was at the CMAs and the ACMs. We won Song of the Year.
Yeah,
And it's a song called Hope on the Floor of Heaven.
yeah, can you just sing just a couple of those little words for us?
Holes in the floor of heaven, and her tears are pouring down. That's how you know she's watching, wishing she could be here now. And sometimes when I'm lonely, I remember she can see, 'cause there's holes in the floor of heaven, and she's watching over you and me.
Thank you. My mother is my angel in heaven. She crossed over when I was pregnant with my first child, Andrew, and well over 30 years ago. And I lost a spouse to colon cancer, and we got married on December 28th. And when it comes this time of year, I always think about them. And I know we all do. We all think about those that were here, those that have helped us become the people that we are today. So thank you for sharing that with me. If you were here, I'd hug you.
Well,
Can you feel my hug?
For the future, we'll do that.
Okay.
I'll hold you to it. And that's well said on that. It's all about the people that we miss and we love and think about every day. That this song, my brother plays with me. He has since day one. He's in the band. And when I tour with the whole band, after our mother passed away, that song took on a whole new meaning. And that's been in 2012, she died. But it's so funny because I turned, and it took me a while to be able to do that song. It took on a whole new meaning. And I'd look at my brother, and he couldn't even look at me for about a year doing that song. But yeah, it's really, it's kind of gives you some kind of relief too, I guess. But yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That song is real special. I've never had a song that had that kind of response from people that said, "Oh my gosh, I love that song." I got so many emails, and we actually did a book with all the emails. Nothing I did. It's strictly was all the emails that I got over this. The book is just called Holes in the Floor of Heaven. But some of these emails are unbelievable. People that were touched by this song, and I'm very grateful, and it moves me still to this day. So that's the biggest song I've done as far as an impact.
Well, I thank you so much for spending this time with me.
My pleasure.
Life is only what we make of it, and your journey has been sweet so far. Certainly not over. You are a person of gratitude, and I am as well. So Merry Christmas to you, happiness to you in the new year. And who knows? Maybe I'll have some sawdust on the floor, and maybe we'll two-step with everybody and all of our friends, and we'll have a great time. Let's go two-stepping.
I would love to do that. I want my hug.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, from my studio family to your studio. Be well. Take care, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
God bless. Bye-bye.